Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into another episode of AFDE Show. That's Abaticola, Ferrari discuss everything. He's Ferrari, I'm Abaticola. This is the podcast where we discuss everything, and it's episode number 27. It's called Fish Liquor. We're glad to have you with us. Thanks for continuing to download the program, telling your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors all about the AFDE Show. You want to participate with the program? There's several ways you can do so. You can email us at afdeshow@gmail.com. You can get us on social media, Twitter at AFDE Show, and Facebook.com/AFDE Show. And we, of course, are brought to you by our good friends Mickey Finn's. They are Lake County's oldest brew pub, actually the oldest brew pub in Illinois. They're on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. Check them out online, mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. I plan on being there. When am I going? I'm going Friday. I'm going to do some daytime watching college basketball.
Oh, that wasn't. Did you already go see the Kate Mellencamp?
No. I'm seeing the band that you guys know from Madison, Wheelhouse.
Okay,
that's tomorrow night, but that won't be Melon Cougar.
Melon Cougar. That's
but no, I didn't know that. Doesn't interest me at all. But the one we're gonna go see, it'll already have taken place before this is released. So,
oh, all right,
I guess So that's tomorrow night, and then So I've never taken time off work to go sit and watch college hoops for the tournament. Yeah, I've never done that.
It's a lot of fun.
I generally have been working those days when I've seen a lot of college basketball for the first or second day of the tournament while being out of bars, but it was always for work.
The best place I've ever watched it at is Joe's on Weed.
Oh, really?
Because they don't have a direct school affiliation, so they do a lot of it's. Mostly Big Ten.
Yeah.
But it's like all Big Ten.
Sure.
You go in there, but they have so many TVs in so many different areas, and they've now adjusted it again that they'll play every game. And they'll put it in a section.
Okay.
So if you come in there and you're all about that, they'll let you kind of chill there. So I went in there years ago. I think it was like 2006 when Florida won, both the football championship and they ended up winning the basketball championship. But there was like a big group of Florida fans there during the game, but then there was Southern Illinois was playing like over the shoulder, like it was super cool.
Yeah,
very cool. It's cool because you can kind of like, if you're like, all right, this game's lame, turn your stool around, you can see everything else.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Finns too. They have a ton of TVs, and they're all bigger TVs. I know some places have like a few big TVs, and then mostly are smaller size. Right. You got like a 19-incher in the corner, and you're like, oh, cool. I can barely see. No, they got all big TVs, and wherever you sit, and it's really comfortable now with all that new furniture. So I'm going to go do that. So check them out online, mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. Great food, and of course, great beer. The Kolsch is no longer on tap, which is no good.
They ran out.
Yeah, they're
sold out.
They're sold out. So, but they have their sesh on tap right now, which is always delicious. I don't know what they have coming out. Of course, well, other Irish beers are coming out. Their Irish Red will be out, and I know they have another one for St. Patty's Day, so it'll be a fun time, and I'm sure you guys all have plans for all of that as you get ready for St. Patrick's Day weekend. So check them out, mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. We do thank them being a part of the program, but of course, thank you the most for listening to the show. So your week was very uneventful. I know you've had nothing going on, so we could just skip right over you and get...
Oh, yeah, what do you got going on?
Oh, geez, so it's so much compared to you. Really nothing. Yeah, work and the boys. That's about it. What about you? Anything happening?
So I don't know if anybody listened to last week's episode.
Did you do anything interesting?
The full diagnosis of why I was getting surgery. And if you're just listening to this episode and you don't care to go backwards, but you should, on Tuesday I had hernia surgery.
Not one.
Double hernia.
Yep.
It ended up being not as bad as I originally thought, but it's because of the incision that was made in the front for my spinal surgery back in December of 16. So, yeah, I had that repaired. Somehow I'm powering through. I told Matt, like, if I could stand, we're gonna do a show. So we're doing a show. So yeah, that one okay. If anything goes wrong, I think you'll hear about it or know about it. Otherwise, we're pretty good. And then yesterday, so this is healing day 1, like full healing day 1 after the hernia surgery. My wife, who's been wanting to get a dog, I also want to get a dog. I just wasn't planning on doing it like immediately following a hernia surgery.
Yeah.
But she found a puppy she wanted. Seemed like the right idea or opportunity. She left, and within 3 hours of this whole question, can I go get a puppy? We had one. So we've got a little puppy. I think is he around the corner?
No, he's gone. I think
okay,
he's gone.
probably
He's
in the
probably
room.
hiding with her.
Yeah, but a little black lab mix, black lab Catahoula leopard dog.
That was a new one to me. Catahoula leopard dog was one I've never heard of before.
Yes,
It was brand new to me.
The only reason I had heard of it is because as we were going through rescue sites,
Okay,
and
you've seen
humane
it
societies
before.
and stuff, there are a lot of them. So,
Really?
and they're kind of based out of Louisiana.
Yep.
So it makes sense that they're all making their way up here because of storms and stuff. I guarantee these are all like storm dogs that are.
Yeah, I believe I read it was once the state dog of Louisiana.
I don't know.
The
Could be.
Catahoula leopard.
Yes, but so in the age of merging words, they're actually. I was like, come on. But then I went to a website. Yes, it is called a Labahula. So we have a
Right.
we have a new Labahula kicking it in our apartment named Peyton.
Peyton, yep, of course.
For obvious reasons, but
Peyton
yes.
Manning.
Yeah, no, actually, because of the noise when you like don't give him attention, it's like the squeak. So he's become Peyton McSqueakerson.
Yep, he is squeaking.
Yeah, until further notice.
I do love Labahula, though. It really does sound like it should be something Elvis says.
Yes.
Labahula.
So Elvis was
Thank you very much.
amidst all of his gold toilets and
Labahula.
whatnot, he was surrounded by Labahulas.
This is my dog. Labahula.
I'm skipping 2 rounds of painkillers to have some rum,
Yeah.
some rum and ginger beer.
How you doing, everybody? This is my dog, amphetamine. Labahula.
Yeah.
A Labahula.
So this will be like the normal sounding me versus the painkiller me, which I
right.
was like, I don't
No,
want to do
think,
that.
yeah, you sound good. And me, on the other hand, again, another cold, another sickness fighting through with being around children all the time, whether my own or all the kids at church at one point or another. So another cold. I think this is the most colds I've ever had in one winter. It's been really, really fun to deal with colds, because colds are always fun to deal with. The not breathing thing is always really nice. Like having difficulty breathing, it's always a good time.
Oh, when it's sinuses, or is it in the chest?
It's sinuses.
Yeah, I mean they're both
Yeah.
bad, but the chest one is
I had a
like
chest
the
one
one I felt
before.
like was like harder to get rid of.
Yeah, last one was chest one, which was about 3 weeks. Like it stuck around for a little bit. Like it was really severe for a few days, but it was there for 3 or 4 weeks. This is just a sinus kind of head cold thing. It's just so annoying.
These are, yeah. I mean, it was going around my office for a while, so like I usually get sick. Maybe like twice a year.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 times
Yeah.
so far because everyone around me is. I mean, and what are you gonna do? It got to the point where they're like, I stayed home for a week and worked.
Yeah.
Because they're like, people
Everybody's
have had
sick.
it for like 2 weeks. So whatever it is going around. But thankfully, I made the cutoff for surgery because they're like, when was the last time you were sick? And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Because it's within 30 days they won't do it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Because your body, they don't want your body at weakness in any way. So
Yeah. So your week was good. You got through the surgery okay. It wasn't as bad as they expected, and then you get a brand new puppy. The doctor was like, "All right, so I want you to go home, get rest, adopt a puppy.
Yeah.
Fill out your prescription.
yeah.
and-
So don't get rest.
Right.
Bend over and play with your damn puppy. It was like, come on. I wanted a taller dog. So
Yeah,
it was-
yesterday I'm like, "How you feeling?" You're like, "Well, I kind of overdid it when the puppy came home." I'm like, "Oh, it's."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're like, I'm laying down now."
But then
That's
I
probably...
then I couldn't move for a pretty solid amount of time.
Yeah, work has been good. We got made some progress with the launch of our new product. So we got some issues taken care of, and everything's moving forward well. We're getting ready for our big conference in Tampa. We're leaving for Tampa on the 19th, so just preparing for that and getting ready. Finally got the itinerary and all the all the keynote speakers and what the programs are all about and different electives you can take. So it should be a pretty productive week.
Yeah,
business-wise. So
good for networking, but it's also good from a learning standpoint. You
tons
kind of
of
pick and choose the courses
tons of
that you wanna
networking
watch.
opportunities. They have networking snack in the morning, networking lunches, networking dinners. So it's gonna be 5 full days of just a lot of networking and hopefully learning. But most importantly, being in 80-degree weather is what I'm just looking forward
Yeah,
to.
my family has been there since I guess they come back. They fly back.
Yeah, they're in
tomorrow.
Disney?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
They've had a good time.
Oh yeah, they're having a blast. But I'm getting phone calls about like how you feeling, and then all of them were really really excited about the puppy. So.
Oh yeah, because I mean you're a dog family.
Yeah.
Although you guys have never had a Labahula, have you?
No one has. Well, I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. I said, well, if you read about it, they're really good.
It's a dog.
And they're good around kids, and they don't shed a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to absolutely whatever we got have some kind of lab because I've had labs my whole life.
I'm growing more towards the idea of having a dog.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Well, I
there.
know
I'm
you were.
getting
Yeah, you
closer.
were. Well, you did for a bit, and then you were. But then you seemed to be like really, really
against
it.
dogs. Yeah. And now I'm it's growing on me. It's growing on me. The idea of having a dog and having a dog for the boys.
Yeah.
Being little, and then after they just lost their dog not too long ago. So
Vegas, right?
Yeah. He was finally put down. He was old. He was an old guy.
Yeah.
His quality of life was really poor. But yeah. So I don't know. It's grown on me.
Yeah.
And the last few dogs I've been around now, I think it's partly because of our security dog at work, Gracie. She's about 6 pounds. She's my buddy, so she'll come up and she'll jump in my lap and she'll want to see what the work I'm doing. Yeah, and she's a great dog, and I think she kind of changed my view on dogs.
And then you were hanging out with what's the dog's name?
Charlie. Yeah. So last weekend we were hanging out. One of Crystal's girlfriends and her husband, and they have a what did I call it? What did I tell you it was?
The
Shoot.
English.
No.
The Spaniel.
A King Charles.
King Charles Spaniel. That's it.
Yeah, and he was really cool. He looked like an old man, but he was like a year and a half only.
Yeah.
He was he was a sweet little dog. So yeah, I'm kind of, and now I walked in and Peyton was my buddy right away. It took about 30 seconds. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the idea. It's growing on me.
Yeah, just
getting there.
Just find like a chill dog, or I don't know if you have eventual plans of like, getting a bigger crib or whatever, because that was my biggest concern about getting any dog, because I don't like little dogs. I mean, I don't mind them. I just don't want to own one.
Sure.
Because one of my prerequisites was I with the back and with the stupid hernia stuff, like I don't want to have to get on the floor to like pet the dog.
Right.
And so, but my concern was if we get a bigger dog, we're in an apartment, and then we have plenty of places that we can walk the dog to, but big dogs, they like, at least in my parents' house, they have space to kind of cruise around.
Yeah, no, I would like to have a yard if I have a dog. I want to have enough space, and I'm in my apartment through September. My lease goes through September, and I plan to. My goal is to be somewhere else.
You haven't renewed yet
by then. Well, no, I mean I did for a second year, and it runs out in September.
No, this September.
Yeah, this September.
Right. No.
Yeah,
but you didn't renew again, is what I mean.
Not yet. Well, that's not up yet. It's not up till. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we already.
Oh no.
Ours is the end of June, and they already sent us a renewal letter.
No, I think the last when I did my second year, it was like a month or two out. Or it was like 2 months out. They're like, you plan on doing it, so
yeah.
We'll see on it, but I would love to have a place on my own again with a yard would be nice.
Maybe you can rent a house.
Looked into that, thought about it. Definitely want one bigger space.
Yeah. Well, at least something. I mean,
the only good thing is I got one kid leaving the house though soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one mouth that's leaving the nest.
Right. Yes.
Mom's getting hitched again, so
yeah.
So she'll be moving out soon. I think in April. They're doing it, so she'll be out of my care.
All right.
In April, which is nice because I expected to have my mom, and I wouldn't have minded, forever. I think that was the plan, and then things change, and that's fine. So maybe I'll replace her with a Labahula.
There you go. Well, I mean, I from what I see so far, I recommend it.
Anything good this week, TV wise? You'll laugh at what I watched. So
all right, I did watch. I mean, I told you. Actually, you said you wanted to watch it also, though. But I think this was the night before surgery or the day.
Oh, the first one. Yeah, I do. I haven't obviously haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
but.
the day before surgery. So I think if anyone listens to this show and knows us, I am not by any means a Hitler fan, but there's a show on Netflix. It's I believe it was eight episodes. It's called Hitler's Circle of Evil, and it basically just tells you like how it all started and who was a part of it, and then how it ended. So they don't really, touch as much on specific war incidents. It's just more their concepting and how it went into it. Like they didn't show
By
all
him, the people around him too. Yeah.
And I was telling Matt, I think I sent him a text that said there are at least 4 people, like so far, that are more crazy than Hitler.
Right. You said that. Yeah. And I was like, well, you're still watching. You're like, yeah, you're like on the 5th episode.
Yeah. So I went through.
Through it.
I finally got through it. It is. It's a tough watch, but again, they're not showing you all those things that are like, that you see in the movies and things that are just disgustingly, you just don't want to watch it. This is just them coming up with the ideas. So in your mind, you can still do it, but they move past it.
Right.
So it's just, you're like, okay. Now you see like exactly who is affecting who. It's really interesting.
Netflix?
Yeah.
And you recommend it?
It's called Hitler's Circle of Evil. It's like I swear, it's like a soap opera as you watch, like, because, there's like 8 of them.
Yeah.
8 key guys. And Hitler's 8. And then there's the 7. And then they just jockey for power back and forth. Like, I mean, it almost caused their downfall. As you watch it, you're like, Jesus, if these guys would stop infighting,
right?
Like, and I'm glad that they did, because that means that we are standing where we are today.
Like, if only they had less chaos.
Yeah, but no, when you watch
maybe
it, you're
one.
like, geez, man, like they spent more time dicking around with each other than like figuring it out. So,
all right. So
I thought it was
Hitler's Circle of Evil.
Yes.
All right.
Very, very cool.
Well, we all, you like the history stuff. You'll enjoy it. I know I do. So it's on my list to watch.
I mean,
I haven't watched anything new this week. I was busy with the Oscars on Sunday.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that. I sat through that whole thing.
I thought it was good. It's fine. Whatever. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I love the fact he went to that movie theater across the street from where they were. I thought that was very entertaining.
I did too.
Other actors. I don't know if they truly volunteered at that moment or if it was set up in advance, but whatever.
Either way, it was still cool.
It was still great. Jimmy Kimmel and Wonder Woman walk into your theater and you're watching a movie. So
yeah, if those two walked into my apartment, I'd be like, Jimmy, well, yeah, you could probably take off.
Yeah, they. I would have never been in that theater because it was the Wrinkle in Time movie that they were watching. Yeah, so you would have never caught me in there. But
I think we both agree that unless I'm forced, I will never be watching the water one.
Oh yeah,
it just seems
I got a lot of flack from people on Twitter because I said that 2 Oscar-winning movies You'll never see are The Sound of Music and The Shape of Water, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not what you think. You'll really like it. It's really good." I'm like, I'm not interested.
I didn't mind The Sound of Music. This one, no.
Yeah, I still won't see The Sound of Music, and I won't see this one.
Yeah, well, you don't have to see it.
It's a great cast, but I'm not interested.
Still don't care. No, I'm not going to watch it. But I was happy. Wait, hold on. Let me think now. Now I'm processing. Who won categories?
Gary Oldman.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's Churchill.
Yeah, that was the one that I was super excited about.
All right. Okay. This is good. We had this opportunity to talk about this. So, the whole James Franco thing. What happened with him, and he got snubbed by the Oscars and the even being nominated
for Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he won like a Golden Globe maybe, but he won something, and then it was like I know he can't, blah blah blah. So the Gary Oldman thing. Apparently, there was a domestic violence issue in '81. I want to say
with him,
with Gary Oldman and a first wife maybe. And there was I saw some stories online about, how could the Academy Awards give this guy an Oscar in the culture and the climate we're in right now? James Franco doesn't get nominated, but this guy wins. Of course, would never endorse domestic violence. I've seen it in my own home. I've seen the results of it with some, bad dudes that were in my mom's life. I know people who have gone through it and experienced it and the difficulties and the horror that it can give into someone's life. But at one point, do you allow someone to be a different person?
Yeah. And
to get past actions, past sins, and live their life, and actually live the calling in their life that they were meant to do because of the natural talents they're given. At what point? At what point's enough time to say, yeah, maybe that was Gary Oldman then, but it's not Gary Oldman now. If it's Gary Oldman now, then sure, he shouldn't be up there.
And I don't think what I'm about to say is going to be misinterpreted, and if it is, I don't care. We don't sugarcoat shit on this show. I was watching it with my wife, who's a woman, and as we're watching it, I was starting to be like, you know what? This shit's starting to get ridiculous now. Like it's taken over everything. Like fine, women movement. I am completely supportive
100%.
of it. But as I'm watching things, I'm like, Jesus, like let's get around this a little bit.
Well, you know what bothered me was
it's taking over everything.
Who was it that did the nominations for? Was it directors? And it was like, here are the nominees. She named the woman director and the 4 men.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, one of those dudes was a black dude.
Yeah.
But also, how many black dudes have been nominated for best director?
Made really
but it's like,
good movies.
Right, they make good movies. But I'm just saying, it's like, I get where it is. I support it. And people are saying, well, by even questioning, you're not. No, that's not the case.
Bullshit.
But it's like there's no reason to slam these 4 dudes in this. The fact that they were nominated with one woman. There's no reason that their name should be associated and tied with that
because
completely right.
It's complete gender bias in that situation where it's just like, guys, come on. I mean, you're really putting people in a bucket that they don't belong in. It's not. There is no. You're a male. You're a female. There's these people have a history. These people have none. And until anything is proven or anything is said, shut the fuck up.
And at that particular moment, you're talking about 5 directors.
Seriously,
you're not talking about a woman and 4 men. You're not talking about 4 white people and a black guy. It's 5 directors.
An award and a category.
Right. I get it.
It was really frustrating. When I'm watching it with a woman who's going, seriously.
Right. No, and listen, and there's a lot more progress that needs to take place. I'm not saying that at all.
Agree.
I'm for it all. I read something today online on Twitter that when it said that we finally made it to a place where a woman won the popular vote for president of this country. But then, we took 50 years. We went back 50 years by giving the presidency to that guy.
Yes.
I get it. There's progress been made. There's more progress that needs to be made. I get it, but there's no reason to unfairly associate those 4 directors at that moment.
I think
who did nothing wrong but make a great movie.
I feel like the point made was it's rolling into it throughout award season, throughout all of the stuff that has been coming out. I feel like that momentum rode into it, but it's got to. Man, it completely derailed the broadcast. It completely derailed it. It made it different. I feel like it made it uncomfortable for some people to
I get
watch.
what you're saying. I don't feel as strongly as you do in the fact that it derailed it, but it certainly set a tone.
Hijack, is that a better word?
It set a certain tone at times that was unnecessary.
Yes.
Like that at that moment, here's the nominees. Someone's whatever her name is, and I apologize, I don't remember her name, and 4 men. Like at that moment, it was not necessary. That's not necessary. Right. These dudes worked just as hard as anybody else to make a movie and reach the level of nomination.
Who weren't charged with any of this stuff.
So there's no reason to put them in that bucket as well.
I mean, can you imagine? I'm just saying, let's go like what do you call it? The 1,000 feet view. These people are like, can you imagine how excited some of these first-time directors, these indie directors, these documentary directors are to be nominated for an Oscar?
Right.
And then you've got like that. There's like a cloud around
undertone
it.
with it.
Yeah, man. That's all I'm saying. It was.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
don't mean derailed, but I mean like as it was riding in, I'm like, ugh. I was already like, all right, now I can see what's going to happen. You could just see what's going to happen, and it was like that. And hey, I actually cheered for like any of the women made jokes. They did some things like I laughed, I cheered, I agree, but it's just like, man, it just felt like there was a cloud over the whole thing.
No, and when Frances won and she had all the women stand up, great. Love it. Great moment. Yeah. Fantastic moment.
100% agree.
But I didn't like that moment there naming the nominees and woman and 4 men. It's like, okay, that's not.
Yeah, it's like, and these other 4 dicks.
Right. There's no point to it there.
I agree.
And then like I said, the Gary Oldman thing. At what point is enough time? At what point does a guy show that he's not that particular person? Whatever the incident might have been, and it's not like he was ever charged with anything at that moment, and that doesn't mean that nothing happened.
But now you can see that they're. I don't even know who they are. Okay, I can't say women are doing it, but obviously digging is being done about every single person that's done every single thing in any famous category, be it athlete, be it celebrity, be it actor, to the point where they're like, well, hey, why was he nominated in 1981? Blah, blah. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, again, not excusing the behavior.
No.
If anything did happen back then, but at what point is enough time
people
to not bring it up?
to improve?
Right, exactly. Are people not allowed to change and improve?
Yeah.
And become different people?
Learn from their shit and don't do it again.
Right.
So
whatever.
Yep.
So
enough of that.
That's it. All right. What else did you watch? So I watched the Oscars so far. What else?
Trish and I laid down. I think this was this pre-surgery or post? I don't know. I've been kind of in a drug-induced haze this week, but we watched Untraceable. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't even know what it is.
So it's.
But if you tell me, I'm sure it'll ring a bell.
Diane Lane. She's an FBI agent, and she works in like the cyber area.
Yes, I've never watched it. I know what it is though. I think it was post
2005
surgery
or something
for
like
you.
Yeah,
or was it?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Or pre. I don't.
I think it was
now.
pre.
I remember you texting me about it
the night of.
Because I just remember getting the Diane Lane text.
Yeah, Diane Lane. Yeah, but my wife is laying next to me, being like, "Well, I guess I'll watch this just because she's in it." So we're all good there. But it's when I watch movies. I don't know. I don't know why. She's always like, why did you go into law enforcement? I'm like, man, I can predict stuff. I don't want to see this shit.
Right.
I don't want to be working like on murder scenes. Like that's not a goal. But I can read things. I can pick things out. And I was figuring a bunch out. But it was Diane Lane kind of, running around. And that's always fun. But, man, it's a little messed up. Colin Hanks is in it. He plays an agent. It's a pretty decent cast. I know you would like it.
I may have seen it.
I actually know you would
say that. I may have seen
the
it.
stuff that we watch. I know you would like it.
Yeah.
Last night I watched The Negotiator. I think I sent you
classic. Yep.
Yeah, I
feel like it's a Negotiator kind of night.
Yeah, because I went to Netflix and it was just on the homepage.
Yeah,
done. And then I did not sleep the entire night. Let's call it Tuesday into Wednesday until Wednesday night, just because pain. And, it was the day of surgery and I came home the same day. So I just watched stuff. I don't know what I watched.
Yeah.
But it was basically like a 12-hour span of things on with me probably in and out of
sleep,
paying attention. Right. Yeah. So, that was the tail end.
I watched a Bulls game last night with Hank and let him stay up the whole night and watch it.
Was it an early start?
It was 7:00 start,
okay,
but he was in bed with me watching.
10.
I put him to bed, and then he came out, and I was like, "All right, buddy, you can watch it." So he stayed up and watched it, and then we crashed together. I watched the other night I Love You Man on Netflix. I couldn't find anything to watch, and I wanted something to put on without having to pay attention really well, and that was that. And I love that movie. I just think it's such a
it's hilarious, funny
movie. Paul Rudd is so good in it. It's a great movie. That dude he works with, Tevin, is just great. So funny.
Oh yeah. The
guy that's trying to get in the Frigno deal.
Yes, the other real estate guy with the urinal pucks.
He's like urinal cakes. If you go to any Chili's, any whatever he names,
piss on my face.
You can piss on my face anywhere.
Well, Trish was on a kick. She went on a. This just sounds fun for everybody. She went on a Mila Kunis kick.
Ooh.
And but she was kind of going through those movies, and I said, "Do you realize that?" Oh shit. No, yeah, of course. Whenever I have to think of something, Role Models, is on HBO, and she watched that. And
that's great.
Oh man,
there's a movie on Netflix with Mila Kunis and Jason Bateman called Extract.
That's an old one.
It's terrible.
I thought it looked dumb, so I never watched it. I think
it's brutal.
I think she might have suffered through it.
I turned off.
I don't want to watch.
It wasn't. That was so disappointing that it wasn't funny.
Yeah, when you think of those two in a film,
I was like, all right, this would be great, and it was stupid. It was horrible.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Don't even bother. Unfortunately, my roommate hijacked the TV a couple nights this week, and it forced me to watch The Bachelor. And I can honestly say that in Monday, Tuesday, I've watched more of The Bachelor than I ever have ever in my life. And it was when he was down to like the final girls, and he gives the second to last one the boot, kicks her to the curb. She's like, I love
like
you.
A rose thing or
he's
something?
Like, I love you too, but you got to go. And she leaves, and then the last girl comes, and that's when he proposes to her. He gets down on his knee, gives her a ring, gives her the final rose, blah blah blah. Well, here's what happened, dude. This is it was just remarkable.
This
TV.
is one thing that we don't give a shit about spoiling.
Oh yeah. Well, if you watch, you know what's already happened. So about a month and a half into their engagement, he's like, hey, the whole time after their engagement, he's like, I'm struggling a little bit. My heart was really torn. I still had feelings for what's her face, and so his fiance was like, yeah, I understand, and he was like, would you mind if I reached out to her? And she was like, sure, go ahead. And she's thinking he's reaching out to her to bring closure to everything, and they can start their life. And they're talking about getting a house together, blah blah blah. So he reaches out to the chick that he kicked to the curb after he said, I love you. And they end up, he's like, all these feelings come back. He goes back to the girl he's engaged with, and he was like, hey, I got to call the engagement off. I want to see what's going on with me and what's her
Shocker.
face. Yeah. So he's engaged to Becca, and he ends up going back with Lauren. And so they have this like live studio audience, dude, and they're like booing him and hissing him and stuff. And then they bring him on, and they bring the girl that he broke up with on, and they're going to see each other next on The Bachelor. Dude, it is such terrible TV. And my mom is on the edge of the couch, just like, oh my God, Matthew, this is so, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm like, you drive me insane.
No.
Drive me insane. It's so ridiculous. It's
like
I'm losing brain cells.
This is the adult version of society collapsing.
Oh, it's so bad.
At least we had our inspirational story a few episodes back, or even if it was the last one, about the kids. Like, I'm not as sad.
Yeah.
I'm not as sad for our future,
Right.
but as long as the Bachelor's around, boy.
So then at the end of this whole thing, so he's with the new girl now, whatever. The second girl, I love you too, but you got to go. They're together now, and then the girl that he broke up with, that he was engaged to, they bring her back on as the next Bachelorette. So she's gonna be right. And before it happens, I'm like, I go, hey, guess what? I go, she's the next Bachelorette. Oh no, they won't do that. And then they're like, you guys want to? And then he's like, you want to meet the next Bachelorette? Let's bring her out. It's Becca, and she comes out, and everyone's like all excited. I'm like women are crying in the audience. I'm like, good grief,
and surprised at that result.
Right. I'm like, that's really. So then they bring out some of the dudes that are going to be on the season with her, like trying to win her heart. One guy walks out with a horse. Okay, so they're in like a TV studio. He walks out with a horse.
Wish the horse would have just taken a dump.
I wanted the horse to dump or pee. Pee would have been better. And he's like, when you fall down, they say that you got to get back up in the saddle again. He's like, I want to help you on this horse. And I was like, oh my God, this is so lame. And like her skirt is like all slit really, really high up her thigh, and like
she got on a horse.
He's like picks her up on the horse. Some other idiot walks out with a banjo. He's singing a song to her. I'm like, oh, this guy just is looking for a TV deal or a record deal or something. He doesn't care about finding
Steve
love.
Martin?
I don't know, but you're gonna find love on TV. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with it. So yeah, that's been my week. It's been Bulls and The Bachelor. So most people would say it was a terrible week of TV. Except for I Love You Man, which made up for a lot of that bad.
Actually, one of my moderately paced fire questions, because I knew that you probably had to at least, I don't know if you sat through the whole thing, but you were enduring it while Mom was watching. No. But I mean, I threw it in there because because of my reality TV.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Let's do moderately paced fire questions.
All right, you go first.
Yep. All right, here you go. I want a specific business, specific company. Best pizza ever. Best pizza you've ever had. I mean, for me, it's a place I've only had it once.
So I always. All right, it's hard for me to do the overall because you got thin, you got deep. You got thin, you got
Just
deep.
do overall. I know, because for you, Pat's would be thin, right? Or am I wrong on that?
Absolutely, Pat's.
Yeah. See, look, I know what your favorite pizza place is.
Pequod's is my favorite. Period.
Pequod's is mine too.
Yep.
I've only had it one time, but that was absolutely
Trish has still never had it.
the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
I'm the worst husband. Yeah, it's outstanding.
That's the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that great that I know your favorite thin crust pizza place?
Yeah. Well, because you've been there. I took you there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. If you were a DJ, what would your DJ name be?
Oh boy.
I just saw this question. I'm like, oh God. And because I don't cheat, so now I need to think of something stupid too.
I don't. You know what? I might have to steal somebody's name because so at church they have there's a position worship pastor, and the guy that's in charge of all the music, and they just hired a guy recently at my church
to DJ it.
No, it's like to be the worship pastor, and his first name it's initials. He goes by initials. His initials are DJ.
Okay.
But he's the music guy, and when I first saw this, I'm like, it's got to be a joke. So his name is DJ. That's what he goes by.
Okay.
I don't know what his first name is and middle name, but he goes by DJ, and his actual last name is Mantooth. So he's DJ Mantooth, and I think it's the absolute greatest name ever.
Well, yeah, and that's also Vince Vaughn's character, Wes Mantooth.
Yes, Mantooth.
You
so
dirtbag.
he's DJ Mantooth. So I might have to steal that and be DJ Mantooth.
Good.
Dude, every time his name pops up on the screen, it says DJ Mantooth. Like, I'm the only one that's laughing. I'm like, no one's ever watched Anchorman before,
Well,
ever?
But even if they didn't, like, DJ Mantooth isn't funny to people.
It's just great.
How is that not funny?
So that would be if I'm a DJ, I'm going to go with DJ Mantooth.
All right, so I'm going to go way back because someone's like, dude, you should be a DJ. And this was like in a different period of my life. And he's like, you should be like something with Caligula.
Oh, jeez.
So here, I'm going to call myself MC Caligula. There you go.
Caligula. All right, perfect.
We got DJ Mantooth and MC Caligula.
All right. The Chicago Bears don't exist, but you're as a diehard football fan as you ever have been. What team do you root for?
Steelers.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was. I thought it'd be the Steelers.
Yeah. I like the fan base. I like the style they play. I like the ownership. I like how they've got a very small amount of coaches in their history. Yeah.
You're probably the only person in my life that won't get mad at me for this, but mine would be the Packers.
Yeah. Well,
if the Bears don't exist, they're not a team. I got to pick a team to root for. It would be the Packers.
now is that? Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm throwing proximity out.
Yeah,
You know, like, for me,
mostly
it's more like style of play.
It's proximity and
history.
Probably
You got history,
and probably because of I love Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers as two of my favorite quarterbacks ever.
From a historical standpoint, they've been around forever.
Right? Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And the history going back to the start of the league, but I mean, just those two quarterbacks from my adult life, I mean, have been two of the most important quarterbacks.
Right. Well, you know what? And our later adult lives, because as younger ones, we got to see people that we've talked about on a previous episode. But like the early '80s and stuff. Where
they had
like,
terrible.
They were more
quarterbacks.
like but I mean, like we saw, we got to see Montana, we got to see
sure,
Marino, which we were talking about,
sure.
and Jim McCulley and all those guys. We got to see like
like for my football viewing from '83 on.
Right.
It's the '80s were one section, and then the '90s on.
I agree.
I mean, Favre and Rodgers.
Favre was kind of like the guy throughout the league.
That guy's just a complete stud.
Yes, exactly. And
Complete
Rodgers is unbelievable. Okay, so what reality TV show would you like to see made?
God, at one point in time, it would have been fun. Behind the scenes at a radio station before the corporate world invaded and took it over.
When it was fun.
When it was fun, and like political correctness wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah.
Not that there was guys who were walking around the hallways doing terrible stuff, because it was mostly guys where I worked at. But I mean, like, dude, I had conversations and arguments with bosses where we're dropping the F-bomb at each other left and right.
Yeah.
And then when the meeting's over, we're somewhere having lunch together.
Yep.
I mean, that kind of stuff
it
doesn't exist.
I know.
That kind of work environment doesn't exist. I think that would have been fun. But like behind the scenes at a radio station.
Well, I think that'd be fun for everyone, like fans. Yeah, exactly. Who want to see what the hell? What are the inner workings? What happens before these guys click the mic?
I mean, Mitch and I would get into brutal arguments in his office, and then 10 minutes after it's over, we're downstairs in Prudential getting lunch somewhere.
Yep. Yeah,
that'd be fun. What about you? You have one?
All right, because of my deep hatred of them. Other than like I used to watch Idol, but I don't watch anything else. And The Bachelor and all that shit.
Are you gonna watch Idol? The new one? It's coming out this weekend. No.
It needed to go.
You won't give it a?
No,
I probably will.
I'll probably like,
but it won't be appointment TV for me. Yeah,
maybe.
If Seacrest wasn't doing it, I definitely would. I don't need to see him doing anything else.
I know, but it wrote it. I watched a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
It did what it did. I don't know, but the music guys, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit different. But I mean, like all the other people, Bachelor, all these other ridiculous ass shows where they send people to islands, where it's just they're setting them up for failure. And also, these people to me seem like giant pathetic losers. That or like, you know what I need to do? I need to go get married. Like in 4 weeks.
Oh, do you know the dude who's on The Bachelor now? You know who he is?
No.
His dad is Ari Lewandijk, the famous race car driver.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Wasn't Roger's brother one of them? And like, I think Jordan Palmer was
somewhere.
One of them.
Yeah.
And, like just But yeah, my reality show would be to take all these morons, put them on an island, and then just find someone like who's a good roaster, like just someone just to berate the shit out of them for thinking that
Jeffrey Ross.
That these shows were going to do anything for them other than you're going to be a D-list turd for the rest of your life.
D-list turd.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the name of a show.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
All right, your favorite condiment. You can only have one. There's one condiment for the rest of your life. What is it?
Cholula.
Ooh, darn it.
Because ranch would be number 2.
Cholula, shoot. See, because my immediate go-to is ranch.
Yeah.
But now you got me with the Cholula.
Because there's some things I don't... I mean, actually, I'm not going to lie. I've probably put ranch on everything you can absolutely imagine, but Cholula hot sauce now goes on
everything.
Vegetable, everything.
Shoot, you got me on that one.
Both, man. You can mix them up. Like, have you ever had the sriracha ranch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Yeah, like I'm sure everyone's opened up a can of black olives and put ranch dressing on them. That's like I've done.
Well, yeah.
You got that soupy olivey water ranch thing.
But I would absolutely do that.
Yeah, you totally changed my opinion, my mind. It would be Cholula.
Yeah. Because I mean, or sriracha, but I mean, like Cholula's become my go-to.
No, yeah, much better.
If you were about to get in a fight, what song should start playing? Something super gay.
Yeah, I would probably go with Mandy or I Write the Songs.
No,
something to throw them off a little bit.
And the guy's like, I don't think I want to fight anymore. Do you want to dance?
I don't want to hit you.
You want to dance?
Good. That's my goal is for you not to hit me.
For me, it would be any like old metal, like Master of Puppets or like old Metallica, where it's just kind of like a slow at the beginning and then it just gets fast, and then this poor bastard just goes down. Like,
Tasmanian Devil pops
that
up.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. What is your idea of the perfect vacation? What's the perfect vacation in your mind?
If it's a long flight, a flight that I can somehow like knock myself out for.
Take the flight out of it.
Yeah.
Your idea of the perfect vacation.
I would like to go with, and this is something that's been talked about forever. It just has, the family keeps getting bigger and bigger, so it's harder to do. But my mom has been talking about.
Now you guys got all these damn dogs to worry about too, like Lawahulas.
2 weeks with the family in Italy. Family, and now there are wives and kids and stuff, but bringing everybody over there, doing a villa thing, and then kind of exploring as we can over that 2 week period. Well, I think that just sounds. And when the more my mom says it, I'm like, yes, because I'm family is getting bigger and it'd be fun.
Yeah,
I would love.
Well, guess what? Guess who's planning a fall 2019 trip to Italy?
You?
This guy right here with 2 thumbs.
Yeah.
For doing that. Because I've always wanted to go.
All right.
Yeah, and why wait?
Well, yeah.
Why wait? That's the whole.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if we could all pull it together?
Yeah. But my typical vacation is it's cool to do things, and like if being in Italy, I want to mainly see the culture and the history of it, but I generally don't have to do anything on vacation, like sitting by the pool or on the beach. And just relax. Like that to me is a great vacation.
I just like the 7 days of not doing shit.
I don't have to do anything on vacation.
Yeah, it's been
it's like some people need activities and need to do different things.
Pool.
Like
I'll do the pool for 10
cool
days.
Showing up, never leaving the resort.
Yep.
And just and not doing
I've
anything.
Done that.
Yeah,
plenty of times,
I'm
and I would
totally
do
fine
it
with
again.
that.
It's just that my family they're all in Disney right now with the
that's kind of like you have to do
right. I just mean, but the Italy with my family, that's just a thing.
You'll do,
but dude, underlying that, beach vacation for 7 days doing
like
nothing.
if we went somewhere, we get to the resort, get into the room, down to the pool,
phone,
cocktails,
wallet, everything goes in the safe.
Right. You get cocktails, and you and I 5 days straight could just do the same thing. Wake up, go to the pool, stay there all day, eat, go to bed,
nap, shower,
wake
get
up,
go to the discotheque.
the discotheque.
Yeah, the resort discotheque. Yes, we go to that, and then probably eat late night other free food and go to sleep. Who do you think should run for president in 2020?
God, that's a good question, because I've actually been going through both parties to see who. It all started with after Trump is out. How do we get Pence out? So then I started thinking who should run in 2020.
Well, on that side, is it going to be him running? He's not going to run against Trump, but Trump's going to run again.
Well, he'll be in jail. He won't.
Well,
He won't be able to ever run again. He's not going to make this term.
Right.
This term won't last. Yeah, I got nothing for you. I don't have it because there were guys on both sides of the aisle that I thought would be good, and throughout all the cream rises to the top. With Trump here, a lot of garbage is rising to the top too on both sides of it. Yeah, I got no one for you. I got nothing. There's got to be an unknown out there, or some young junior senator that might be able to.
Well, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if Bernie ran again. I don't care how old he is. Honestly, he should have run the first time. He should have been the candidate, I think.
Yeah, I got no issue with that.
I think he should have been the guy.
I really hope Hillary's done with everything.
Yeah, I think maybe Biden.
He said he never would. I wonder if I thought I remember reading a story that he's kind of changed his tune a bit.
He didn't do it because his son had just died.
Yeah, so maybe he would get back into it.
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of was like, now in retrospect. But, he had to get through that. And that's fine. Just for the fun of it, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it. Because I love her, man. I love her.
There's a representative down in the state of Florida. Her name is Elizabeth Porter. She's in the 11th district, and she was on the Florida state on the floor, and she was talking about gun regulation, gun laws, gun legislation, and she said she was, and I'm paraphrasing her, talking about children, and do we need to listen to children because they want different gun laws now? She's like, what if the children wanted to, say that graduating high school was you're 12 years old? Or, if they said there's no more homework ever, should we listen to what children want? We're the adults. We have the wisdom. We have the experience. We make the laws.
Totally the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, you couldn't be more stupid. If you tried to be stupid,
I
you
guarantee they could be more
dumber.
stupid.
Well, that one. That's a special brand of dumb. I went to her Twitter account, and she hasn't posted anything since November of 2010, which sucked because I wanted to have a conversation with her. But anywho, yeah, so I got nothing for you. But Bernie wants to run, sure. We'll see what pops up.
There is one other person, though,
so.
that I was kind of hoping stuck around in our previous election. Bloomberg ran as an independent.
Yeah.
I would have been so okay with him being president. I would still be so okay with him being president. He's got views on either side, but yeah, I took this long presidential survey.
Yeah,
and he was my number one. It was him.
I liked
Bernie.
I liked John
then Hillary.
Kasich on the Republican side.
Yeah, he's a flake though.
I liked him, and I voted for him in the primary. But
I like what he thinks, but he's like he's like a wimp.
Yeah, I liked him.
No, I agree. But Bloomberg I think would make one. But that's all I got.
All right, last one for you. Okay, your favorite TV show, West Wing.
Yeah.
Any one character. Which character are you
in West Wing?
Yeah. What character are you? Not like what you most resemble or most act like personality wise, but if you could persona. be you could be that character. Who would it be?
Josh.
That's what I guessed you would say Josh.
Yeah. Because he's funny,
yeah.
But like when you think like I don't really know if this guy's smart, he comes out with some smart stuff, man.
Very smart.
He gets in trouble. Yeah.
Mine would be Leo.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the guy in charge.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah. He's an OG.
Yeah. Right.
He's an OG, right? Yeah. No, Josh for me for sure.
Yeah,
and as I watch it, like now, like before surgery, I got nervous and stuff. It's like that TV you put on in the background that you know everything that's going on, but it's comforting.
I would have guessed that.
All right. So when you talk to yourself, what are the things you say the most?
When I talk to myself, what are the things I say the most? Interesting. Generally, it's dealing with something. It could be on a minor level or a major level. I'm always talking to myself that it's always going to work out because everything always has, no matter what it is. So it's always positive reinforcement.
For me, it's because if I'm alone, it's like it's always something that's inconvenient. Like shit always unplugs and falls on the floor. And the biggest pain in the ass for me with back problems and like healing from surgery is everything falls on the goddamn floor.
Great.
So I'm always just like, fuck. It's usually fuck's sake. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Like I'm by myself. And I get down and pick. Shit always falls on the floor. I'll pull something out of a bag, and it's always like the knot in Christmas Vacation. Or here's a bit of a knot, Russ. He hands him like huge ass knot. It's always something like that. So
we need to get
like,
you
a
grasper to pick things up.
Yeah.
You need that. You need the sock putter on her thing.
I do.
Need to get those.
Yeah,
for you.
I thought that was we've passed Christmas.
Well, there's another one coming up. It happens every year. I think it's
right.
always the same time. That's moderately paced fire questions. This is the end of segment 1. It's episode 27. Fish Liquor. It's a Batacola Ferrari. Discuss everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Illinois' oldest brew pub. Check them out at MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. You can get them on Twitter as well at Mickey Finn's. Great place, great food, a great beer, of course, and great people. Live entertainment every weekend. It's Batacola Ferrari. Discuss everything. Back in a moment.
Sing his ass off. He sang so good, they let him do movies. He couldn't act. They said, fuck it, let him sing all his dialogue. They did. Everything Elvis said, they said, Elvis, we got to win this race. We got to win this race. Elvis, want some lemonade? Lemonade. That cool, refreshing drink.
All right, welcome back into episode 27. It's called Fish Liquor. It's a Batacola Ferrari. Discuss everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, the oldest brew pub in Illinois. MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. A lot of great activities coming up this weekend for St. Patty's Day. The 16th is always a big day. The day before, the Friday before, it's always a big day there at Finn's. Great food specials, corned beef and cabbage all day long. A lot of Irish beer. Their Irish Red will be on tap. They have live entertainment. They do a live radio broadcast as well. So it's always a fun day. People are always there at like 8 in the morning.
Who's broadcasting from there?
It's the WIIL maybe. It's like the rock station up in Kenosha.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're there. They have a really nice relationship. Brian goes on their morning show like once a month with them, and they're always down doing broadcasts from there. It's always a fun time. So check them out, MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. If you're up in the northern suburbs up there near Wisconsin, you might want to make plans to take off work and be there. I'll be there in the afternoon watching college basketball. So you get St. Patty's Day and all the college hoops. A lot of fun entertainment. Again, a Batacola Ferrari. Discuss everything. He's Ferrari. I'm a Batacola. And this is episode 27. Fish Liquor. You can download all the other 26 episodes had you not done so. And we encourage you to do that and tell your friends, family, coworkers all about the show. And we get into our first segment here on the first part of the second segment that we do in every episode, and it's called That's So Wisconsin, and it's brought to us by our friends at Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out online at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. Daily specials, trivia night on Tuesdays, Packer Palooza coming up in April. But go online and get all the details about everything they have going on, all the drink and food specials, as well as tickets and guest information for Packer Palooza, willsnorthwoodsinn.com. They bring us That's So Wisconsin, where we find a story for you that involves the great state of Wisconsin in one form or fashion.
Yeah, I actually have had friends reaching out since hearing about it on the show several times when Packer Palooza is. And
oh, really?
So I think we'll get a group together.
Yeah, no,
we'll get a group together to go.
Fun.
This is actually a weirdly timely article that I found today because I had surgery this week at Swedish Covenant Hospital, which is near here.
I'm familiar with it.
And Trisha's like, was talking about my spinal surgery, and it's like, man, this is nothing like UW Health, which is that. If anything, came from Wisconsin that I enjoyed up there was like they were very good. So an article came out today. Oh yeah, there's always some weird clickbait poop on the right side, but the article came out today that says 4 Wisconsin hospitals to make list of nation's top 100.
Yep.
So there's a list by...
Yeah, they take several factors into account, and Wisconsin had 4 hospitals in the 2018 Watson Health's top 100 hospitals.
So, yeah, the UW Health System was number 1, followed by, it's the University of Wisconsin Hospital, so it's UW Health clinics in Wisconsin. The Aspirus Wastow Hospital in Wausau. St. Mary's, which is also in Madison, and Lakeview Medical, which is in Rice Lake, but there's also a branch in Madison. So they have a very, very good hospital system, and it's cool to see that they're recognized, 4 of them in the top 100 in the nation. And like Cedars-Sinai is on that list, so they're doing a very good job up there. So I thought that'd be cool.
Well, look at something positive about the great state of Wisconsin, and That's So Wisconsin. It's brought to you by our friends Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out online at willsnorthwoodsin.com. All right, what do we get into now? We got some funny stories.
Funny stories,
Is this
random
news,
stories.
News you should know. So these are probably things you haven't seen, but of course it's news that you should know.
So this one, we don't need to read through the whole article. I'll do the headline and just kind of summarize it for you.
I don't even know what to say about this.
But the headline is Live Goldfish Mysteriously Appears on Woman's Kitchen Floor. So basically the story is this lady rolls into her kitchen and it's a goldfish in a pot, like a stainless steel pot on the floor. And she's curious because they don't have a fish as to what happened. And it turns out the cat, her cat named Thor, went out and was by a pond full of goldfish, and the thing was freezing over. And I don't know, I'm guessing Thor wasn't like, gotta save you.
Right.
Because that's kind of the angle the story is going with. But
no, Thor brought him home to eat him.
Picked the fish up, put it in his mouth, carried it back without biting, though, and dropped it in a pan. And the lady put it in water, and the fish is still alive. I just, when I read the headline, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So now this Thor the cat picked up a fish who may or may not be concerned about the koi pond freezing over and brought it over, but specifically dropped it into a pot.
Now, I mean, this is a lesson here for society to take a hold of. If a cat can save a fish, can't Republicans, Democrats just get along? And work to make our country better.
Yeah. But I think he threw him in the pot because he wanted to cook.
He wanted to cook him.
Yeah, but still.
Hey, Ma, cook the fish. Cook the fish, Ma.
Yeah.
All right, news you should know. Live goldfish mysteriously appears on woman's kitchen floor. Saved by Thor the cat.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Next story. You know how, and these trends seem to happen. I definitely have seen and I actually was not completely against doing this, but people in place of getting a wedding ring, getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
But the headline of this article, and it's mostly videos, not a lot of verbiage here. Yeah. But I think we'll just read the headline. These two, we don't need to read these. People are getting their fingers pierced instead of wearing a wedding ring, and it looks excruciating. This is on the Daily Mirror. Oh, it probably keeps, it's got all this stuff, but it's mostly videos of people doing this. Bottom line, though, from a doctor's standpoint, it takes 1 year to fully heal.
Oh, wow.
So people are literally like any other piercing, and you can go and watch these videos, are having a post stuck through their finger. So there's a post on the bottom and then the stone on the top. Wow. 1 year. 1 year to heal.
Good. I'm good on that. Thank you. Thank you, though, for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go into more dumb stuff now.
Yeah. And so each of you dumb criminals, and here is our story from the great state of Connecticut. I think this might be a first for us.
Yeah, I think so.
Police say a man answering to a stolen car charge drove a stolen car to court in Connecticut. Authorities say 25
For that charge?
Yes. Authorities say 25-year-old Jonathan Rivera was at Hartford Superior Court on Wednesday to appear before a judge on a charge of first-degree larceny and tampering with a motor vehicle from February. Parking authority agents scanning license plates outside the courthouse found a car that had been reported stolen. Police kept an eye on the car, and they arrested Rivera when he got inside, tried to drive away. Rivera has been charged with second-degree larceny and taking a motor vehicle without the owner's permission. So he drove a stolen car to his court date at the courthouse in another stolen car. That is 25-year-old Jonathan Rivera out of the state of Connecticut. He is our dumb criminal of the week.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
That's pretty brilliant. That's a brilliant form.
Just reminded me of some random occurrence. I was in court in like DuPage County Court for something, just like some speeding ticket, something stupid. And there was a group of people who were there who had like DUIs and had to go into like one of those classes. But this guy was walking through the hall, and he's like, "Hey, is anybody else here for this DUI class?"
Yeah.
And we're all kind of like, "No, we're here for something else." And he goes, "Okay, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna check on something." So they went outside and looked at all the license plates to see if any of those people who were in the class drove in on a suspended or revoked license.
Oh boy.
And they were rolling people out, like putting people in cuffs who drove up in the car with their plates. Wow. So, but I mean, I'm not saying that that's actually dumb criminal, but that's just like, man, they are getting elaborate in their searching and busting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was our dumb criminal, Jonathan Rivera, 25-year-old man from Connecticut. That's pretty dumb, which leads us into our dumb apps segment. Every week we bring you 2 apps. These are real downloadable apps for your iPhone or Android. Jason finds them and he presents them to you. And this is Jason's episode 27, Fish Liquor, Dumb Apps.
Okay. And a lot of times they're funny, but the title's dumb. Like, I'm not going to change it from, to funny apps. These both are just really dumb. So this one is called Flight Deck Artificial Horizon. I think you can already assume what it is. But the guy who developed it says, being a private pilot, I developed this tool as backup artificial horizon while I'm flying. It uses built-in orientation sensors on your Android phone to provide you pitch and yaw information in real time. I kind of feel like this is the You're Gonna Crash app if you're depending on your Android's sensor system to be your private pilot.
Right. Right. If you need your cell phone to provide you pitch and yaw information in real time,
something bad is happening in the plane.
Probably shouldn't be flying a plane.
Something bad's happening.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. The next one falls into that other category of those ones where it's just not possible.
Right.
The name of the app is called Acne Clear. Uses a shit. I can't. My hernia hurts when I laugh. It uses a specific sound frequency and a blue color wavelength from the lapis lazuli gemstone to help clear and detox your skin. So yeah, there are a lot of those things out there. I believe there was one. My personal favorite of not possible ones though was the one that you put your food on.
Yeah.
The one that you could weigh your food on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So this one will somehow in no way clear your acne, but it's out there. That's an Apple one, and the other one is an Android one, too.
So that is
help you fly a plane.
This week's edition of Dumb Apps, and wraps up segment 2 of episode 27 called Fish Liquor. We'll take a brief time out. Remember, we're brought to you by Mickey Finn's. They are Illinois' oldest brew pub. Also, big thanks to Will's Northwoods Inn at 3030 North Racine. It's AFDE show, Baticola Ferrari. Discuss everything back in a moment.
You ever been in a cockpit before?
No, sir. I've never been up in a plane before.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Hi, welcome back into the final segment, episode 27, Fish Liquor. It's a Baticola Ferrari. Discuss everything. Thanks for downloading this episode, telling your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors all about it. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, actually the oldest brew pub in the state of Illinois. Lots of great entertainment coming up for the holiday weekend, St. Patty's Day coming up. So check them out online at mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. We start off segment 3 of every episode with the best tweets of the week. These are 5 Twitter accounts that we follow on our show, and you should follow us too at AFDE Show. And the first one has been a rather popular Twitter account for us, and it always provides great entertainment, and it comes to us from The Onion.
The Onion tweet is, teacher in cash-strapped Ohio school district forced to make do with centuries-old firearms. He's holding like a musket.
So great. So great.
All right.
Before you go on to the next one, I saw today online, Oklahoma, the school district is putting these shelter rooms inside their classrooms, and they can fit up to like 30 people, like 30 kids, and they're completely bulletproof. They can withstand like a E4 hurricane. So they showed this video, and like they were outside, and guys had like these assault rifles were shooting into it, and they wouldn't penetrate. But they're putting them in this one school district in all the classrooms, and it took about 30 seconds to get all the kids out of their desks and in this room that seals and locks.
Awesome.
And I like that idea better than giving guns to teachers.
Oh,
they're
not even.
There's got to be
the same thing.
There's got to be.
Not even like That's not like a apples to apples kind of thing, man.
There has to be other alternatives than giving guns to teachers, like this, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not feasible for every school district, every state, but
whatnot. But
figure something else out.
Agreed.
I mean, we've sent things to Mars. We have men walk on the moon. Right. We can figure out a way to make schools safe.
It's always like fixing guns with more guns.
Right.
Fix the guns with more guns.
More guns.
Okay, it's not going to work.
Right.
All right, so
this is great.
I watch Bill Maher regularly. Matt kind of watches it every now and again.
I saw your tweet. This was great.
This is very good. Well, yeah, but this was like not even what I was saying about how funny the episode was.
Right.
But he during the show was talking about everyone who had left, and they joked about Gary Cohen leaving, and he did. So like it was like literally
advisor.
right after the filming of the show, and Bill Maher said, "Wait, now Gary Cohen is gone too. I can't keep up. The last time this many people fled the White House is when the British were burning it in 1814."
Yeah, very funny.
Which is the only time that people fled the White House because the British were coming to burn it.
Yeah, I saw Sarah Sanders her press briefing yesterday. She was asked about the number of people leaving the White House. And she sidesteps it as well as she does, and she's like, we're doing historic things and great things in his White House, and it's been an historic first year. And I tweeted about it, and like my whole point was, if there are people in government, like you work in government to make the world a better place, to make your country better,
hopefully,
right? And if you're part of something that is historic and is great and is changing the world, you don't up and flee like so many people are doing from this first year of the administration.
I would say a pretty sizable group of people doing this for themselves.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
For sure.
Because when they realize that they're not getting what they wanted, they leave.
Right.
Next one, we've never ever touted our own tweet, but this was a post-surgery me on coming out of anesthesia laughing tweet because I looked down and my midsection was orange from the iodine from the surgery. I just said, gotta love pre-operation iodine. My torso looks like @real Donald Trump's makeup towel. And then in my mind, I made up a hashtag. I was pretty proud of it. Troompa Loompa.
Troompa Loompa.
Yes. I
Very
tagged
good.
you and my cousin.
Yes.
And then I put a photo of me dressed as an Oompa Loompa. So
Halloween.
Yes, for Halloween.
For Halloween.
Yeah,
not just for fun.
right after surgery. Just threw on a wig. Right after.
All right, our next one. These are the best tweets of the week.
I told you about this guy. I don't know if you went and looked. But Shaquin Griffin, is someone who is participating in the NFL Combine this past week. He's a guy from Central Florida who is missing a hand. So the guy put in a 4.38 in his 40. Look at this. This is him busting out 20 reps, and that's a fake hand. His arm only goes up like a little bit past the elbow. 20 reps at 225 with one hand. Wow. And a fake hand.
That's insane.
The guy is a freak, man. He put in a very good combine,
him.
and it's just one of those things
Where did he play college ball?
Central Florida.
And he had a decent college
4-year starter, linebacker, put in
good for him.
It was like a 30+ vertical, like a big vertical. Look at that. He's got the little hook. And he went through all the catching drills too and wasn't dropping balls.
For him.
He caught better than every linebacker in the whole combine.
Nice.
With one hand and no, actually, he only used that for the bench.
Where's he projected at?
Based on his deal, his hand situation near lower rounds.
Yeah.
But he put in such a good performance that I think he'll boost up.
All right, we'll keep an eye on him.
He was like a beast in special teams.
Team. Yeah,
and
good for him.
That's what young players do anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. All right, so. I saw this because we follow Seth MacFarlane, and we follow Patton, but I didn't see the response below it. But can you read Donald Trump's tweet?
Yeah,
I'll
move this over. Donald Trump tweeted out, "The new fake news narrative is that there's chaos in the White House. Wrong! ! People will always come and go, and I want strong dialogue before making a final decision. I still have some people that I want to change, always seeking perfection. There is no chaos, only great energy."
Yes, and then Patton Oswalt retweeted it in all caps saying, "There is no Donald, only Zool." So he made a sweet 1984 original Ghostbusters reference, and I appreciate it.
Very nice. Patton Oswalt.
Going to this day.
Yep, so that's our 5 best tweets of the week. We do that in segment 3 to start off every episode. This is episode 27. It's called Fish Liquor. It's Baticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. And for us, today it is Thursday, March 8th. And we bring you this day in history.
Yeah.
So it won't be this
2
day
days
for you,
post
but for us.
surgery. So let's call this a trooper broadcast.
That's right.
I've been
Absolutely.
standing
Very
for
impressive.
a good amount of time.
So this day, March 8th, 2014. So just 4 years ago.
Yeah, do you remember this story?
Of course.
I still am a little surprised by it, but 2014, but Malaysia Airlines flight vanishes with more than 200 people aboard.
And there's still been no outcome to that.
No.
It's just gone. It's disappeared.
Yep.
227 people and 12 crew members were lost. They lose contact with air traffic control less than an hour after taking off. And they veer off course, disappears despite massive air and sea search effort for the Beijing-bound Boeing 777. Investigators have failed to find any trace of the aircraft or determine why it vanished.
Right. Yeah, we don't need to go any further in because there's nothing saying where it is. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, that's 2014. That's fresh. I don't know. I feel like that's like a real-time lost situation.
Yeah, just 4 years ago. So that's March 8th, 2014, our second event, this day in history, and it's March 8th, 1971.
Ali battles Frazier for heavyweight championship.
So on March 8th, 1971, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier met for the fight of the century at MSG in NYC. The bout marked Ali's return to the marquee 3.5 years after boxing commissions revoked his license over his refusal to fight in the Vietnam War. It was also Ali's first chance to win back the heavyweight championship, which had been stripped by the WBA. So Ali and Frazier fight on March 8th, 1971. Wow.
Yes. Remember, they were both Olympians. They were both Golden Gloves guys. They were
Undefeated.
both champions. Yeah. So that was cool.
Very
All right.
cool.
This one.
Hey, did you see, have you seen Chuck yet? The movie about Chuck Wepner, the boxer, that the Rocky movie is based off of?
No.
Liev Schreiber plays Chuck Wepner. Stallone saw the story of Chuck Wepner, and then that's how he wrote Rocky.
Oh, okay.
And then he ends up meeting Chuck Wepner. It's a great movie.
Really?
It's on. You can watch it free now on cable on demand. Liev Schreiber plays Chuck Wepner. He fights Ali. He goes the distance with Ali and has zero right going the distance with Ali. It's great. It's a great movie.
I will watch it.
Really, really good movie.
All right.
So our final this day in history, and it's March 8th, and it brings us to 1993.
Yes, my year I graduated high school. MTV's highest rated series premieres. I love that this is what it is.
So,
I love that this is what it is.
Oh, gosh. This day in 1993, good grief, MTV airs its first episode of the animated series Beavis and Butthead, which will go on to become the network's highest rated series up to that point. Wow. That's great.
Love it.
Very, very funny.
Yes. All right.
So that's this day in history. We bring you three events from our day. For us, it's March 8th. For you, it'll be after because you're listening to episode 27, Fish Liquor, after we record it. That's how it works. Very funny. And we leave you each week, want to leave you on a positive note, an inspirational story of the day. And this one here, you're going to read the headline for us, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, but just to preface it, I've been reading articles about a lot of people, a lot of teachers, obviously, usually we have medical people who do this, who go and they volunteer, but they've been doing more of a public program versus people who register for specific programs to go volunteer. The title of this article is "This 93-year-old grandma is flying to Kenya to volunteer at an orphanage," and let me roll that up for you.
So Norma Irma has been giving donations to the orphanage founded by an Italian missionary for years. This year's donations weren't enough. Norma's granddaughter, Elisa Coltro, wrote a post about her grandmother's inspiring story on Facebook with photos sent from her mother, who is accompanying Norma on her journey. "This is my grandma Irma, a young lady of 93 who set off for Kenya tonight. Not to some tourist resort to be waited on hand and foot, but to go to the village of children in an orphanage. I'm showing her to you because I believe that all of us should always keep a dash of recklessness in order to live and not just survive. Look at her. Who's stopping her? I love her." Norma and her daughter are planning to stay in Kenya for 3 weeks, or perhaps my grandma will decide to stay and won't come back.
Come back, yeah.
It's entirely possible, knowing the big heart that she has and her energy.
Living out her days doing that. Wow. Man, I just, obviously the segment is called Inspirational Stories, but it's one of those things where I love that it's timeless. That people who volunteer, people who want to do something else with their life, people who want to seek out something else.
Yeah.
The 93-year-old lady who's definitely lived a full life, man. She's 93 years old, and decides, and she's clearly been doing this for years, as has her daughter. But yeah, 93 years old, going to Kenya.
Yep. So that just makes you wonder.
Which is a dangerous place too.
You're listening to this show. You are a lot younger than 93. Our demo shows it. What is it that you're doing in your life to impact other people?
Yeah,
that's the thing. And this is a 93-year-old woman who is in, what most would consider the final years of living at 93. That's a long life. Going to another country to volunteer at an orphanage. Pretty remarkable.
And where she's going, Kenya was one of the first attacks from the Al Qaeda.
Oh, really?
First one, yeah. They blew up the. Sorry. Now my brain is going
right. You
dark.
got drug brain.
Yeah. The embassy.
Embassy.
Jesus.
Okay. Sorry, he wasn't involved.
Yes, the embassy. Jesus. No, they blew up the embassy. Killed a ton of people, and that's kind of when everything got started.
Well, good for her. That's a great story, and one to challenge us and evaluate what we're doing with our own time and our own lives. This is the end of episode 27. We appreciate you listening, downloading it. Episode 27, Fish Liquor of the Baticola Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, the oldest brew pub in Illinois. Check them out, MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. They've got so many great things coming up for the St. Patrick's Day weekend. Check them out. Great food, great beer, as always. And, of course, our good friends over at Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine. Check them out at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. On behalf of Jason, I'm Matt. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. This is episode 27, Fish Liquor. We'll have episode 28 for you next week of the Baticola Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast.
Well, wait. Will we?
Yeah, why won't we?
You're going to be traveling. Or no?
No, next week's the 15th.
Okay.
I leave the 19th.
All right, cool.
Yeah, no, we'll do something when I'm in Florida.
Well, yeah, we'll do
even if it's a brief one.
We'll do a bad phone call.
We'll do something.
All right, perfect. Sorry.
That's all right. So
I don't know dates. Clearly, for the last 10 minutes, the drugs are
kicking in.
Inducing.
It's a Baticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.